Everyone, welcome to this webinar about staff scheduling. I'm Veronika from OnSinch support team, and today I will be sharing you information or tips and tricks about how you can schedule staff members to shifts. So this webinar will not be about how to create the events, but rather how to successfully have them filled with the correct people. First, I will here show you a little bit of our outline, so you know what to expect. So first, we will take a look at a little bit of terminology recap. I'm sure you are all familiar with that, but I will be using a couple of OnSinch terminology just to do some overview. Then we will continue with taking a look at the two big groups of how you can allocate staff members, and that's by administrator and the ways how this can be done, and by staff members themselves, and the individual options how this can be done. And I will show you examples of all the options. Then we will take a look at some related settings and notifications, which is related to that topic, and we will end up with some summary, and I will share with you some our future development in this area. And of course, there will be space for your questions and comments. So as Marketa mentioned, you can submit them via this icon in the right bottom of the call. So I think we can start. So let's jump right into it. As usual, I will share with you our demo system with some prepared shifts and jobs, and we'll be using them as the examples. So first, as I mentioned, I wanted to go over a little bit of recap of terminology. Now we are on the job page. My job consists of two shifts. Here on the right side, you can see that I have a load-in and I have a load-out shift. So it's a 2 days, well, 1 day, but 2 shifts. And this is one shift load-in. I have here a couple of positions. So each shift consists of 1 or more positions. And the position is smallest article you can edit in OnSinch. And each position has 2 basic configurations. First is professions. This is here my stagehand profession. I have driver profession, another forklift driver profession, and technician profession. And basically, profession is work assignment. It's a category of work. Then each position has a second configuration, and that's a role on the shift. In OnSinch, we have 3 roles. First is a staff leader. That's head of this shift. Staff member responsible for all other staff members. This person can see contact of client. They can see list of all staff members and their contact. And depending on your operations, they can submit the attendance of other attending staff members via OnSinch for you. So that's the leader position. This position can be renamed. So maybe in your OnSinch, it's called crew chief, crew boss, coordinator, or lead hostess. This can be renamed. Then we have a second role, which is a regular staff member. Yeah, so here in my example, I have 4 positions of regular staff members with different professions. And the third role in OnSinch is standby. Standby role is a special role. It's somebody who is added to the shift, to the standby position, and is willing to kind of back up you if somebody is a no-show on the shift. So usually how it works is that the standby person arrives on the time and to the meeting location. They count with working the whole shift. They arrive to a meeting point, and when somebody from these regular staff members don't arrive, they are late or they overslept or they are just a no-show, the standby can save the day for you and be working instead of somebody. The standby is confirmed during the closing the shift. So either your leader let you know how it was with the standby, or you can do it during closing the shift. And if the standby is working, it becomes something we call working standby, and it's paid as a regular staff member. This role is very handy when you have big jobs and there is a high chance that somebody is a no-show, or for example, shifts that are starting at night, or some other cases. So these are the roles: a leader, regular staff member, and standby. Another term I wanted to mention, because I will be using it later in the presentation, are groups. So in OnSinch, you can link the positions to groups. You can see my example that I have a group A for staff leader here, and I have a group A in my second shift. In my loadout shift, I have also group A. And linking positions into group is used when you want the same staff member or staff members to attend all the connected positions on the shift. So typically I want on my shift, load in and load out have the same person as a leader. I combine it to the positions of groups. So I have a couple of positions group and a couple of positions not group. So this is the group term. And last two things I wanted to mention as a terminology is that the position can be set as hidden. That's indicated here by this icon of eye. And hidden basically means that it's visible only to you, to admins, and it's not published to your database of staff members. We will cover that later in detail, just to have it in mind, the terms. And here I have an icon of log in this staff leader line. And the locked position means basically that staff members cannot freely sign in and out of locked positions. So this is just a little bit of basic terms. And we can start with the actual staff assignment. As I was mentioning, we have two main options, and that's staff members are added by admin, or staff members are assigning themselves in their profile. So first we'll start with options how admins can do it. And first we'll take a look at the logic, and then I will show you various ways and pages where in the app actually you can do the clicking. So for that we will stay in this our sample shift. And first option, that's really the basic one, is that you can add as an admin somebody directly to the shift. For that, I will choose here position driver, and here click on plus staff member. And here you can type name of your staff member. So this window is searching for your database by the name. So I want to add here, let's say, Richard Racer. You can decide under which contract this particular position will be worked, in case you are using more contracts. And in this case, I will just click on OK. And I added Richard Racer to the position. That's really simple. The person is here, no questions asked. But sometimes can happen that you would like to hear from the staff member if they are interested in the work or not, and you want to have it in the system saved and have kind of confirmation from their side. And for that, there is a second option. So let's here, for example, try to fill this position, which is a stagehand regular staff member. And again, I will here click on staff member. And in this case, I decided I would like head a helper to be working on this shift, on this position. And at this moment, in this case, I will here select this checkbox, require to staff confirm their attendance. And this works as kind of shift invitation. Head a helper will react via OnSinch if he wants to work or not. So I will check this checkbox. And also, as I was mentioning in the beginning, this position is part of the group. So I can also, via one click, add and invite head a helper to all these linked positions which I want. I want him to work on both. And here also the system shows you how many and which positions are part of the group. I have linked only 2 positions, but it can be more. So let's invite her. So I will click on OK. Now you can see that her helper is added. But if you notice this little icon in the almost end of his line, it's orange. And there's a little question next to it. And that means that this person is invited, but it's not confirmed. So we are waiting on her helper's reaction. On the contrary, this Richard Racer we added, it's in black. It means that he is just on the position. So now we invited Harry, and let's take a look at how it looks from his point of view. So I will open here his profile. And let's sign in as him. And depending on your notification settings, Harry will be informed by email, push notification, or SMS. And here you can see we are now in account of Harry Helper. And he has here notifications that there are some shifts to be confirmed. So he can click on first one and check the details. Here he can see that he has been selected, so he should react somehow. And also, since the shift is grouped, he also sees his information that it's not just this one, but there are some other part of the group, and he needs to work on all of them. And let's say Harry Helper is interested, so here you just click on Confirm All, and he is now signed up to this shift. So let's now go back to administrator point of view to check how it changed in our sample shift. So now we have Harry Helper here, and his icon changed to green. And you also have here a timestamp when he confirmed it. So that's advantage that the person do the action of confirming or declining via the system. And it's saved when was done, how was done, who invited the person, and it's kind of a confirmation from their side, so they really count with working on that shift. So these are the 2 basic options, how you can add the person to the shift directly or invite them, meaning you are waiting their reaction. But sometimes your process is more complex and you need to have some more approvals in it. And for that, we can scroll a bit down, and these are something we call applicants here. And applicants allows you to put staff members, or they can apply, this will be also covered later, to kind of waiting room. So they are prepared. We want them to work maybe on the shift, or they would like to work, but it's not confirmed yet. They are not yet here up on this position. So they are waiting administrators' decision if we want them to be on the shift or not. As I was mentioning, the applicants are used more when staff members are applying themselves, but you can do it as well. You can always here add applicants. And that's handy, for example, when you want to create your own pool of pre-selected candidates, and maybe some other admin in your team is doing the actual approving process, or in some cases, you might want to create, again, the pool of candidates and download here, export, for example, composite cards of applicants in case maybe your client is also part of the decision-making process. So you can have here the people prepared. And once the decision day is here, you just approve or decline the staff members. So you can add directly here the applicants. We have already, you can see that we have already Wendy and Walter pending, and here you can just add another applicant. That's the first option when you want to have this step of approving and declining. But it can happen that you want another confirmation. And that's similarly, as I was showing that you can invite staff member, you can also invite staff member to be this applicant. And what's the logic, or what's the case? So let's try it. For example, I will choose here the stagehand staff member, and I will here click on applicant. So you can see that the window is very similar as we were adding the person directly to the position, but this time we are adding it to applicant, not directly. But similarly, I can search. So let's find, I have here my sample Sarah skills. And I can either add her as a regular applicant, and then some admin or me will approve her or decline. But I can also require her to confirm if she even wants to be this applicant. And this is useful when you want to create your pool of candidates, ask them, see if they are interested, but you don't want yet them confirm. You just want to know if they're interested or not. And after some time, you will do the final decision. So this is more steps, so you have more control over the process. So we will do it here now with Sarah. So I want her to let me know if she would like to be an applicant. And I will also check that I want her to be applicant to all the group positions. So let's add her. And you can see that she is here. But again, similarly as before with Harry, she has an orange icon, so she is invited applicant. So we are not sure if she even wants to be an applicant. So let's take a look at Sarah now. Again, I will log in to her account. And now you can see, again, very similar window as Harry, but this time as an applicant. The icon for applicants we are using across the system is purple, like a waving person, for better distinguishment. So let's open the detail. And again, Sarah will say, okay, I would be interested in the job. So again, she can click on confirm or decline, of course. If she declined, she is gone from the applicants. So now Sarah said that she would like to be on the shift, but she is not there yet. It's not the end. So let's now go back again to our sample shift. We'll find it here. And now you can see that Sarah changed a bit, and we have option to approve and decline, similarly as Wendy. So she said, yes, I would like to be an applicant. So, and after your decision is done, you just do the approval or declining. So this is a more complex way. So these are the basic options. Just to summarize it, you can add person directly to the position. You can invite them using the attendance confirmation. You can add people to applicants and then approve them or decline them. Or you can invite them to be an applicants so they can let you know if they want, and then you can make the final decision. So these are the 4 main things. And now let's take a look at where in the app you can do it, because there are more places in the app. Until now, I was doing it in this very simple way, and that's simply by clicking this plus staff member and typing the name of the staff member. This is very handy when you already know who will be there. You want to invite just 1 or 2 people, and you just know their name. A second option is that you will use the magnifying glass icon next to the plus staff member. So let's, for example, click here. And this icon leads you to your staff list. And the staff list is already pre-filtered a bit based on the data from the position. We went from position for stagehands. So you can see that I have already profession stagehand pre-filtered. Also, the system automatically pre-filtered the time when the staff member is available, because I want to see only people who have time, meaning that they don't have any other shift planned in OnSinch. And also here, of course, the status is active, because I want to schedule only active staff members, not blocked, deleted, or hibernated. With this filter, you can play further. You can use all of the filters here, and even below here we have a meeting requirements part when you can select further filters. For example, if the person should have certain badge, if they should have certain information filled in their profile. After you are done with your selection, you can select 1, 2, more, or all of the staff members. And using here below the button Add Staff, you can add them more of the staff members to this position. And similarly, as we were adding it before, you can add them to shift, meaning you are adding them directly to the position. Yeah, you need to select somebody. And the same window will appear. But this time you are adding more staff members at once. So now you are adding them directly to the position. And here I can mention one use of the invitations here. And that's, you can use it also. The purpose is not only to ask staff members if they want to work on the shift or not, or you can use it in a way that first come, first served. So for instance, if I have a position for 2 people, so my capacity is 2, I can invite 5 people, and the first 2 that opens OnSinch and clicks on confirm and reacts that they want to work on the shift will go to the position, and the rest of them, the 3 that did not react on time, or they were just late, they no longer can confirm their attendance, and they no longer be on the shift. So you can use it also that you can book or like ask more staff members to attend, and just let them confirm their attendance. So like this, you can add them to position, or similarly, you can add them here to applicants. And the same way, you can add them to be applicant, or you can invite them, so as I was mentioning the last option. So from here, you can add them as well from staff list. Then another place where you can add and allocate staff members is in scheduler. And our scheduler is, among others, great in that you see calendar view of events, and you see also calendar view of your staff members at one place, and you can filter both of the parts at the same time. So for example, here, if I expand the staff filter, this staff filter is basically mirroring the staff filter I was just showing you in staff list. So again, you can here filter by profession, you can filter by special requirement or rating to get the results. And from here, you can also allocate staff members, and there are a couple of options. First, it depends how you have it, how you have the shifts set in terms of visibility and compactness here in this top part. So this is my sample shift, this load in, but here I can't see if it's whether if it's stagehand, whether if it's some forklift driver. I just see that there's a shift and the capacity. If I click on the box, sidebar appear where I have already these positions, professions, and you can see Harry Helper already here. So here you can see the shift detail. And from the left part, from the left list of staff members, you can drag and drop the person on the right side to be on the position. So like this, I selected Robrody, and he is here on the shift, and you can also see that it appeared in his calendar. From here, you can also sign the person off of the shift, or if you right-click in his or her line in the calendar, if you click on right click. You can sign him off as well from here. So let's sign off for Brody, and he is gone. There's the one option that you can drag and drop it to the sidebar. And then if you are using extended view of schedule, so let's take a look at, if I go here to the top right corner and click on view settings, it's important, or this is based on how you have here the option show positions. If I select compact or extended, so I will go for compact. You can see that the view changed a bit, and now below the shift, I can also see the individual positions, and the circles are representing empty positions, the empty circles. So from here, again, from the top part, from the bottom part, I can drag and drop the person to be here. And again, I have option to require attendance or assign them to all linked positions. And the same way, I can drag and drop not only the staff member here up to the position, but I can drag and drop the position down to the staff member calendar. So I can drag and drop here the leader to be William. Let's say confirm. And he is now on the shift. Here you can see some warnings that are across the system anytime when you add somebody and it's kind of breaking some rule, or there's some warning you should be aware. So in my example, William Watchman does not have the profession. So he maybe should not be working there, but you as an admin, you have like a master power. You can allocate anyone, anywhere, sign off everyone. So it's really your power. But sometimes, yeah, you might want to be notified. So here's a warning. So I can click and undo because I changed my mind and I don't want William Watchman there. So that's the option where you can add people in scheduler. And the last part I want to mention is in the attendance builder. For this topic, I recommend to check our previous webinar about Builder, where we are covering a lot this editor and as well this topic. But since it's staff scheduling, I should mention it. So I am now back in our sample shift, and let's go here to edit attendance. So now we are in the Builder, not editing shift or job, but we are editing staff members. And here is the good place when you want to manage one staff member at more positions across the shifts or jobs. So for example, you can just click on the line of the position. If you hold Control or Command on MacBook, I think, you can select more lines at once. And here on the right side, you can again type the staff member name. And again, you have option to require attendance or not, meaning invitation or not. The same way you can add staff members to applicants if you click on the applicant line. What I also recommend is to use these right clicks in the lines. So for example, if I right click here on the job line, I can use some of the pre-selection that system offers. So for example, I can choose all standby positions on this job and add the person here. Or you can use here in the top line full text. And that's useful when we are using professions or position titles. So you can search, for example, I think I have here some forklift driver. So I can type fork and the system starts searching. In the end of the line, I can select my found matches. And now I could add the staff member again here. So here you can manage it in more positions. And you can also here manage the staff members themselves, meaning those who are already there. So I think we have, if I don't, yeah, we have Sarah, because you can also search by the name of the staff member. So I know I have Sarah here. Let's start typing her name. You can see that these are my results. And I can select I can select all found matches. And for example, I can approve Sarah or delete her or decline her application. So now I approved Sarah, so you can see that she is now here in the positions. What also is related to the sign-in and off is a switch. It's also mentioned in the Builder webinar, but I like it, so I want to show it to you as well now. So if I type here again Sarah, and for instance, Sarah could not attend the shift for some reason, but she agreed with somebody else to stand in to all of the shifts she is planned. You can click on select again, Sarah, and you can here sign off staff members, or if you click on this arrow, you can swap her to another staff member. So for instance, Sarah no longer can attend the shift, but colleague Kate can attend. So I can switch it like this, and you can see that Kate is here and Sarah is gone. So these are the places where you can do it. In the job page, in the schedule, or here in the attendance builder. So now let's take a look at the second part, and that's how staff members can put themselves on the shift, because that's OnSinch a big advantage. I will for that now select all staff members and remove them, so I can work still with our sample shift. So now everyone who I assign is gone. And let's take a look at the second option, and that's how staff members can put themselves on the shift. For that, let's go back again to our page. And I just wanted to mention the basic, which is what actually can the staff members see, what determines what they can even see and sign up to. As I was mentioning, the professions, that's the first condition. So staff members can see only available positions which are for professions they have in their profile assigned, what they can do. So for instance, if I am stagehand and I don't have in my profile profession driver or forklift driver, I will never see positions or job listings for these positions, because it doesn't make sense for me at the moment. So the profession is determining the visibility. And second thing, which is determining the visibility, is that the position is not set hidden. As I was mentioning in the beginning, you can set the position as hidden, so it must be visible to staff members so they can apply for it. If you have the position as hidden, but you add somebody on it, of course, now after the person is actually on the position, they can see all the details. So it's not like hidden. It's hidden unless you are on it. So that's the condition. And the third condition, of course, is that the position is not full. There's still some space. So these are the first three basic rules. And let's take a look at how staff members can put themselves. So let's find our helper, our best guy, and let's sign in as him. And again, the option for self-registration is great because it saves your time, but still we understand that not in all cases everyone can do everything. So still we need some safe settings and options. So we'll take a look at them. So now we are logged in as head helper, and let's see here in their profile what professions he actually can do. He had a lot of professions, he had 5 professions. So if the position is not full and visible and open, he can see them and apply depending. So let's go back to dashboard, and usually the staff members can search here by this search filters, or in the left menu they can go to list of available shifts and take a look at what is available. Here also I would like to mention these 2 filters on the right side, because by default when staff member goes here, it shows them only 3 positions. But they can check also already filled positions in case they are interested what is going on. But we want to show them the most relevant things, so it's always by default 3. And also, by default, they see positions that are for their rating. That's when you are using requirements. I will be covering that in a second. So just for you to know that these 2 have some defaults, but there are options to change it. So you can see here a list of positions, and not all of them are the same. So as I was mentioning in the beginning, we have professions, stagehand drivers, and roles. So even a staff member can clearly see what is the profession, what's the role, right in the line in the list of available shifts. First, the easiest option is where you have really simple shift, and just almost anyone can do it, and you just want to have it filled. So let's take a look at this example. Let's say this NTF festival. So head helper opens this detail, and he can see the position because he's a stagehand, and it's not occupied, so it's free for self-sign up. And there's no special requirement, nothing special is needed, so he can just click on agree with your conditions and sign up for shift. And that's it, basically he's on the shift. Here we can also mention the sign-off. There are 2 sign-offs in the system, meaning that the options how staff members can remove themselves from the shift. There's an instant sign-off. Usually it's like 2 minutes, I think, free. It can be set, change in the agency settings, but it's meant for when I would like accidentally click on sign up, and I just realized in a second that it was a mistake. Yeah, so we give some buffer time to staff members to correct their mistakes. So that's like the instant sign-off. But then the real sign-off, when something changes and the staff member needs to be removed from the shift, if the position is like this, it's not locked, it's open. The staff member can, by themselves in the account, remove themselves or sign off of the shift within some time limit. And the time limit can be set in agency settings, again, as a default for all the shifts, but you have option to change it in each shift manually in the builder or when you are creating it. And what happens, so now in my example here, Harry, the shift is happening in a couple of days, so he can still freely sign off. And until after this date, after 2nd of February, he will no longer be able to sign off. He will need to contact you or some other admin to discuss or to be removed from the shift. Yes, so it prevents that a lot of people will just sign off in the last minute. So let's sign off now as a Harry. That's really a simple shift. But sometimes you want still to use the advantage of staff members putting themselves on the shift and saving your time. But there is some condition that is set either by client or maybe by you that the staff members could met in order to be able to work on that shift. For that, let's take a look at this. You can see this gray lines. We can open it. So it's a driver position. So in my case, the helper can see the position because it's a driver, but he's not meeting requirement. You can see that we set that the requirement is to have the badge on level 2, and he doesn't have it, so he cannot sign up. So this option secures that you publish the shift to your database. People can apply, but only if they meet the requirements. So no driving for Harry. If we go now back to our admin part, and of course, if Harry would have the badge, he could apply, or he could put himself directly into the shift as a regular staff member. So these are 2 options. It's really the basic free shift. with or without requirements, and staff members are putting themselves directly in these positions. And now I'm coming back to our topic of applicants, which you can use when in your process you want to have more control. You still want staff members to do the action, to show their interest, to be active, but you want to have control over who in the end will end up here in these positions. And that's all again used with the function of applicants. The applicants are used mainly with combination with locked shifts. So basically it means that nobody can by themselves put themselves directly in here. They are just applicants waiting if you want them or not. For that, I will go now to editor to show you some related boxes that are related to setting this. Let's choose here my example line of staff leader. And in here on the right side, we have, I hope it's visible, not really. So this position is for one person. Ultimately, I want one person. And I set amount here below, amount of applicants, which is 10. So 10 people can apply and be in this waiting room, waiting for my final decision. So they want to begin this one. And then there is a checkbox that's called applicant must meet position requirements. And that you check if you set the requirement for the position. And if I don't meet the requirement, I can't even apply. I just need to meet the requirement even to be able to apply. And in a little bit here down, I have the position as locked. So when staff members are applying, there are always applicants. And once they are in the position confirmed, they cannot sign out by themselves. And in this case, it doesn't, if the shift is locked, staff members cannot sign out. And it doesn't matter if the shift is in 3 months or tomorrow. Okay, so these are the related settings. We can check again Harry. And let's sign in as him. And then it goes to available shifts, and you can see that the first line, these are the positions I was just showing to you in editor, and that's the leader. And again, it's indicating also to Harry Helper that he can sign up only as an applicant, so it's not sure yet. So he will decide, yes, I would like to be an applicant, or I would like to go on that shift. So he applied, and now he is pending admin's reaction. Here I want to mention also the sign-offs of the applicants, because it works a bit different. When I am applicant, and you did not decide yet if yes or no, I can leave the shift, I can remove myself from being an applicant anytime. Yeah, so unless you did some reaction to my application, I can withdraw the application. At the same time, I can apply to more shifts that are happening at the same time. So for instance, if you have 3 shifts on Sunday, I really need to work on Sunday or want, and I can sign up as an applicant to all of the shifts. I can apply to all of them. But once you approve me to one of the shifts, then the system automatically remove me from being able to be confirmed to the other shifts. Yeah, so the time overlap is checking when you are confirming the applicants, making sure that there are no overlaps. So let's go back and approve Harry. We have him here waiting. Again, our shift. Yeah, so you can see that we have, this is example, we have 1 position, so only 1 staff leader, and we have 3 people pending. And we can approve him, but since this position is group, it's part of the group A. If you click on this arrow, you can approve the applicant in all group positions, which I want. now. So I want Harry, let's say, to be here, and I confirm the grouped positions. So now Harry is here. He's got a confirmation that his application was accepted. And I guess since there's no space for a leader, I can just click on decline all and decline the rest of the pending staff members. This is what we recommend to do when you have the shift filled, or just don't leave the declination on last declining of the applicants for last minute, or even after the event, just to have the clear communication so they know where they are at. And also what is handy for applicants is that when you decline them, they are visible here in the gray, in gray letters. And that's handy, for example, when in scenario when we have this shift full, but somebody sign off, you can maybe check who was interested at some point and maybe reach out to them. In that case, click on add staff member and invite them to kind of see if they are interested, and you don't need to make any phone call because they will receive a notification from the app. Now, I will also want to mention what is there's a difference because you might want to see when you have some applicant, you can decline them, or via these 3 dots, you can remove the applicant or delete applicant. So there are 2 ways: decline or delete. If you decline somebody, it means that, for example, here, these 2 declined staff members no longer can apply for a second time. That prevents if somebody would like to keep applying, they cannot apply for a second time when they are declined. But if you remove them from applicants, it behaves as if they were never there, so they can apply again. So it's just the difference between declining and being removed from applicants. Also, maybe I can mention when you can do the approving or declining of applicants. It can be done here in this job page, or in the left part we have a section attendance, and here is a section job applicants, where you can see a list of all applicants across the system, and you can filter by order, jobs or date, and do the approving or declining from here. You can also do it in Scheduler. Currently, it's not possible to allocate people to be applicants in Scheduler, but it is in our list of features for the future. But what you can do is that you can here approve already pending applicants from the scheduler. So here it can be done. And you can also do it in the attendance builder where I was before. There's also option to work with the applicants. So this is the most common use. You have locked position and you set amount of applicants. Just what I can say is, don't forget, when you are setting this up, when you lock the position and you want to use the applicants, you need to have set amount of applicants. If there will be 0, nobody can apply. So just remember to have some amount of applicants. This can be set in agency settings by default. So you can have always here some number you want. One a little bit maybe not much used way of using applicants, but I think it's a good one, is that you can use applicants with combination of requirements when the position is not locked. So it's not locked. And this is handy, for example, when you want to say that if somebody meets a certain requirement, they can put themselves directly into the position. But if somebody is not meeting a requirement, you might consider their application, so they can end up here in the applicants. So for example, if you have a shift and you can set that you want, usually it's a rating level, for instance. So if you need, if I am rating 40, for example, I can put myself directly into the position. And if I don't meet the requirements, meaning I have lower rating, I can apply, and you might reconsider me if you maybe see that most of the shift is filled with senior people. You might let some newbie in to learn from them. So it can be combination. It doesn't need to be really just locked. And for that, I will just show you if we go to edit. And that's this box, applicant must meet position requirement, because you might want to ask, like, of course, I want them to meet the requirement, but in this case, it doesn't need to be. So when you want the applicants, even if they don't meet the requirement, to kind of apply, and you might want to consider them, you will untick the box, and that's only people who meet the requirement are on the shift, and the rest of them can be just applicants. So these are the options for applicants locked or not locked shifts. And of course, you can use, and that's the most common ones, and these are the combination of all of the approaches I was mentioning. So you can hide the leader position because you want to invite somebody. You can lock some of them. You want to kind of approve or decline. Some of the positions can be free. So you don't need to set this on the shift level. It can be set on a position level. So that's yeah. So these are our main options. I can also recommend to, because there are a lot of notification settings related to that. So I recommend, if you may be considering to change your approach or you want to just check it, to go to notification settings. And there are notification settings towards admins and staff members, which are related to this attendance flow. So as an admin, you can receive notification every time when somebody joins a shift, leave the shift, confirm the invitation or not. So you can check the settings here. Maybe I can mention the difference here. There is an attendance global watcher. That means that if you turn on, you will receive information about any attendance change across the system, all shifts. And there is an attendance watcher without the global, and that's when you tick the box that you would like to receive attendance notifications related to the specific shift. This can be ticked when you are creating the shift or when you are editing it, so that's just a difference. And in the staff member part, we have many notifications here also in the work section, so the staff members are always updated when they are removed, added to shift, invited as applicant, confirmed as applicant. So, so the OnSinch take care of the notifications. And I also recommend to check some of the settings in agency settings, because there are those I was mentioning. If you want to have shift locked by default, if you decide always want to have it locked, you can set here the amount of applicants, so you don't need to type it. You can set the sign-off limit, so some defaults. And what I would like to mention specifically are these 3 lines, and these are related to self-sign-up of staff members. I was mentioning that if the person makes a requirement, has the profession in their profile, and the position is available and open and visible, they can put themselves in. But you have also another tools related to profile verification. So you can say here, set that the person, even to be able to see what jobs you are offering, they need to have verified profile to see them, to join the shift, or perhaps they also need a contract. So there are also a couple of settings related to that in here. So that's kind of yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today. It's been quite a lot of terms, I guess. So I have prepared just a little summary. It will be shared with you as well. But basically, to wrap it up, you can add the staff members as an admin directly to position. You can invite them. You can add them to applicants to be later decided, or you can invite them to be applicant and then decide and make the final decision. Or you can let staff members apply. So first come, first serve directly to the position with requirements or without requirements. You can use a locked position and applicants to be able to approve or decline the applications. Or you can use a combination. So if I meet the requirement, I can go directly to the shift. If not, I am just applicant. Also, what I can mention is our future. Soon we will be launching a new feature which is related to that. And that's, I think we'll call it attendance reconfirmation. Because now when you add somebody to shift and something is changed, date, venue, etc., the staff member is informed by notification, but some changes are so major that staff member might not be able to attend. And this needs to be handled somehow manually now. So we will have a new feature that will allow you somehow to, after major change, request another confirmation from the staff member if they really are willing still to go on that shift after that major change. So that's the feature. Of course, you can also let us know and reach out to us if you don't understand something, you might have some questions, or you want to discuss your specific case. We can take a look at it and find the best solution together. So don't hesitate to reach out to us on our support mail. So I think that's the end of my presentation. I will click here what FAQs we have. Oh, we have a couple of them. Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, so there's a question about if can we work with applicants in the scheduler. So currently you can approve or decline the applicants in the scheduler, and it's in our feature request list to have option to add them, so to allocate them the similar way as I was showing to the positions, but at the moment it's not. Then we have a question if we can search by badges in the attendance module. So I think that's related to this builder editor. And there's in the builder there are no options for filtering staff members. So that's what we can do in a staff list or the schedule. In the attendance builder, there are no filters for staff. Then we have question about when will these updates be available. I'm not sure about what updates. Maybe it was related to the attendance reconfirmation. And I think that should be released soon, definitely in Q1 in some of the upcoming releases. So if you are subscribed to our newsletters, you will know, we'll let you know. If it was about some other updates, I'm not sure if I was mentioning some of them. And I think that's all the questions we had in the FAQ. So I am very on time. That's interesting. So I hope you like our webinar. Of course, as I was mentioning, reach out to us with your questions. We'll be sharing the recording with you shortly. It will be available on our YouTube, and you can always also check our help section where we have articles not only about this topic, but about other topics. And I will be happy to see you in our other webinar.